Hi, I'm Victor Alpha 5, Mike Uniform Delta, and welcome to my channel. And today, I'm going to explain a little bit more detail on my solar hack that I've been doing. I've been using a solar controller, and with, I used to call it a buck converter. It's actually a boost converter. Thank you guys in the comments. I am bringing the voltage up, not down. So hey, we got that all cleared up. I'm going to show you how we are going to take, we could call it stealing, borrowing battery power from all different kinds, all the different sources. You're in a situation where your battery that you have running your radio or your fridge or something like that, or your cell phone is dead, and you have a whole bunch of other ones laying around, and they're just not the right voltage. They're not charged up enough. They're just not compatible with the connection. So today I'm going to show you how, in a little more detail, how we're going to do that, and a little bit of a explanation on how it's done to kind of simplify it and all that kind of stuff. So this is what we're going to be doing. I kind of rebuilt it a bit. I took it off the plywood. Today we're going to be using, for a demonstration, I have my lithium battery right over here, which is actually, I drained it on purpose. It is dead. Right above it is the solar controller, which we're going to be using to condition and regulate the power. Over here is our boost converter. Down below is just an optional to tell us what our battery levels are and all that kind of stuff. And of course, over here is going to be the donor lead acid battery that's sitting at about 11.5 volts, 11 volts. Actually kind of useless for what we need because it's not going to power the radio properly, but it's going to allow us to charge up our main battery, which is right over here. So right now, my radio is dead. It's not powering up. This is measuring right now. If we could get our right there, let's get our multimeter. This is super hard to do with one hand, but we'll try it. We had a voltage there for a second. Believe it or not, it drained down to 7.1 volts. What we're going to do, we're going to plug it in. Still completely dead. Now we're going to turn on our other battery. We're going to plug it in. Everything's coming to life now. I'm going to take the camera off. Here's a 7300. It's plugged in. It's not coming on. We got this guy starting up. There's the voltage right there. 66 watts we're running. So look at that. We are now charging. We are now charging the battery off of our lead acid one, and the radio is now on working. Now, of course, if I transmit, it may draw enough down and it's going to drop it off. But looking at the charger, we're doing very well. We're pulling some 70 watts off the lead acid, and our battery's coming up. We're charging a current at about 5 amps. So how is it possible? And this is what I want to explain to everyone. And I'm going to get a little something to show as a demonstration here, so I'm not putting my fingers in the way. This right here is sitting at 11.5 volts, and our battery here was at 7. Now that is fine. We could push power into a dead battery, but what we need to do is we need to push it in efficiently and properly. Let's do this analogy of our boost converter. Think of the boost converter as, let's say, an air pump. So if you're gonna let's say you're gonna blow up your tires on your vehicle, and they have to have 35 psi in them. You're not gonna be able to get any air into them if you try blowing it with your mouth. Have you ever tried blowing up a tire with your mouth? It's not possible. That's the same thing with a low voltage battery trying to go pushing into another one. You cannot push that in unless you have some sort of pump. The boost converter is your pump. So picture a voltage boost. We turn PSI into voltage, a low voltage into high voltage. It pushes it into that battery. Now, it's all fine. You could just push all you want. Is it regulated? No, it's not. That's why we use a solar controller. The solar controller is going to regulate the flow, the amperage into the battery. And when it starts getting to that point where it's happy, it's going to shut it off. And that's what we want. That's why we want to use a charge controller. And why we need to use a boost converter to bring the voltage up. So right now what I'm doing is I'm boosting the voltage up from the 11.5. I'm putting it up to about 25. Now most solar controllers need to have at least 5 volts above the floating charge of your battery, or else it's not going to push. It's just the rules of the solar controller. They're not designed to push a small amount. Some chargers do. This one has a 5 volt differential, I'll call it. So a safe starting point is, you can do 20, 25. I like to float it at. So I can take anything that's above 6 volts and suck that juice out, or that air pressure, pump it up, and effectively push it into that battery over here safely and get a charge off of it. It's as simple as that. Having a simple circuit like this is going to allow you to take anything, and it could be this battery that's typically useless for me right now. That 11.5 is not going to power my radio. It's going to drop right away. Right now it's in that, you can't see it, it's at 10.08 volts right now. That would have been turning off the radio by now, but we could actually, our radio's still working. It's perfectly fine, and we're charging the battery. So it's going to run until that battery's dead, and it's going to charge up my lithium for me just perfectly. So hopefully you guys, it all kind of blends together. I got a lot of exciting stuff still to show you. I have another way, and if you guys stay tuned, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out and put your notifications on, that you don't miss out on any of the videos I'm putting out. I got a really, really nice one I'm working on, and believe it or not, it works. Just a matter of me getting some time to make a video, and I'm going to show you guys how you could use another source, not just this battery sitting here. Something that you have floating around the house. Everybody has one. Most people have one. And it's going to allow you to operate your radio if it's dead. So guys, stay tuned. Like I said, like and subscribe. Any comments, put them down below. I love reading the comments, and I'll do my best to respond to you guys. For now, 73s, and see you hams on the band. Bye-bye.